Hi, this is Joe again with another movie review. And like I said in the previous review, I'm going to be doing movies that has won the Academy Award for Best Picture. And the one I'm going to be doing for this video is for the Oscar winner for 1967, which is In the Heat of the Night. Now, most of you out there probably know Heat of the Night from the television series starring Carol Connor and Hal Rollins. But what I didn't know, because I was a fan of the television series, that was actually based on an Oscar-winning film. And I happened, about like 20 some years ago, I happened to see the Oscar-winning film, and I kind of liked it, so that's the video I'm going to be doing. The movie I'm going to be doing. And of course, the original movie stars Rod Steiger and Sidney Poitier as the two lead characters. And of course, Rod Steiger won. Excuse me. Rod Steiger won the Academy Award Best Actor for his role in the Heat of the Night. And of course, he plays a racist police chief in Mississippi. And Sidney Poitier plays a police detective named Roger Tibbs, a homicide detective, from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and they were forced to team together to solve a murder of a prominent citizen. And of course, the movie starts off with Sidney Poitier traveling through Sparta, in the town Sparta, Mississippi, while the film was actually filmed in Sparta, Illinois. And he's waiting for the next train to come, the 12:35 train. But while he's waiting, another police officer was, patrolling the town, and comes across a dead body in an alley. And of course, the chief was called in, and was played by Rod Steiger, like I said. Played Bill Gillespie, who was the chief of this town. And of course, he wasn't even though he was a police chief, he was not a quote-unquote homicide expert. And of course, he told this officer from the body to go check, the bus depot and the train station to see if there's maybe a hitchhiker or something passed through town and killed this guy. That was the original theory. And of course, the officer found Sidney Poitier in the train station, so he figured, oh, maybe this guy did. But unfortunately, he just arrests him and brings him in. But nowadays, because now we're in New York City, we have a new mayor. Now, of course, we know to stop and frisk, and this particular officer nowadays in 2014 will be sued for racial profiling today. But not in Mississippi in 1967. No way. That's not what happened. So it brings him in. Of course, that's where you had the first scene between Sidney Poitier and Rod Steiger, which is that interrogation scene. It was one of the best scenes in the whole film. And of course, he wants to know. And of course, Sidney Poitier had all this money on him. And of course, they figured it was the money from the murder victim. So he says, "Oh, how in the hell did you get all that money?" And of course, Sidney Poitier says, "I earn the money 10 hours a day, 7 days a week." And he says, "Wait a minute, no way the colored person can make that much money. That's more than I make. Then where did you earn it?" He said, "In Philadelphia." He said, "Of course, Mississippi, because there is a Philadelphia, Mississippi." He said, "No, in Pennsylvania." So what do you do up there? And he says, "I'm a police officer." He doesn't identify himself as a police officer. And then, of course, the chief, Rod Steiger, chooses out the officer who brought him in. They never asked him any questions, just brought him in. Not asking him anything. And of course that's when the chief checks out his story. He gets noisy a police officer, but it's the top homicide detective in Philadelphia. He goes, that's interesting. And he says, oh, why don't you, the chief says, why don't you help them out with the story in this case. And Sidney Poitier was hesitant about it, because actually he doesn't want to be, in this racist town in Mississippi, because they're all going to treat him differently because he was black. So the chief asked him, hey, why don't you help out? He said, no way, I got a train to catch. He said, no way, the next train is going to come out, not to 12:35. Why don't you help out? So what can you look at? And because Sidney Poitier, he says, why don't you look out for yourself? He said, because I'm not an expert, officer. Then he saw no respect for him because they call him an officer instead of using the N-word. And of course, a little bit of warning, in this movie they do use the N-word a lot in this film. So of course, if you get those of you who get offended by whites using the N-word, then of course you're not going to like In the Heat of the Night, either the movie or the television show. So a bit of warning if those of you who have never seen In the Heat of the Night before, or at least the movie version. So of course they teamed up and they do eventually, of course, find the murderer in the end of the film. Of course, I'm not going to give away the ending, but they do find the murderer at the end of the film. And of course, it is a very good detective, trying to figure out who did and why they did. Because, excuse me. Of course, at first, Sidney Poitier character was so hesitant that he doesn't want to help these people out because they figure that all the whites in this town, even though they have a decent amount of blacks in this town, the majority of the people in this town are white. And of course, actually, the white racism, you can't have a decent white person in Mississippi. They all gotta be racist, especially in the movie in the 1960s. So of course, they don't want to help him out because why should I help you out for? You're going to be all hassling me and everything else because I'm black. Why should I help you guys out? And so he convinced them, said, look, I don't have to tell you, because knowing you wanted to show us how dumb we all are. And I thought it was a pretty good scene because one time he says, what, you don't want to take up the challenge of making us all look bad? Making all of us whiteys look bad? Because that's all, because he's so damn smart. He's smaller than any white man I ever know. But why don't you take up the challenge and prove all of us wrong, then you can be just as smart as we are, or even smaller than we are. So Sidney Poitier reluctantly, agrees. And every time he brings something up, and Gillespie, the West Side character, disputes it. And like they bring in one suspect who had the murder victim sworn on him. He said all he did was he was already dead when I got there already. So the obvious question is, how come you never report? You know there's a dead guy there. Why didn't you report this? And of course he never reported. He just took the wall and ran off because he figured he would get the blame because he was getting in trouble with the police before. So because of that, that's why he never reported to the police. But at first, Gillespie wanted to charge him with murder, and Gillespie says he proves that he wasn't, the killer because he was left-handed, and it was proven that the murder victim and the murderer was right-handed, not left-handed. But then, like I said, it was a good film, and it did eventually track down the murder victim. And the reason why they were forced because the widow and the wife of the murder victim liked how the black officer or Tibbs told them what happened, and basically try to figure out, trying to help you figure out who killed your husband. And that's why they were forced together to team up. Like I said, that eventually they did find the murder victim. I thought it was a good movie and one more overlooked movies or Academy Award winning films. The one thing they did like about the movie is the title song. I think it was written by Quincy Jones and it was sung by Ray Charles. So you can't go wrong with those two. And like I said, won the Academy Award for Best Picture for 1967 and won Stein Award for Best Actor. Sidney Poitier didn't win because he previously won for Lilies in the Field. So he previously won a Ray, and they're going to give him, at least in those days, they're not going to give him back actor, a second award. Well, the funny thing is that Denzel Washington, I think he won like 2 or 3 times already now. So it's a little more commonplace for a black actor to win an Academy Award today than it did back then. So that's my review of In the Heat of the Night. If you've never seen the movie, please get a hold of it if you ever had a chance for Netflix or whatever to see that film. So that's my review of The Heat of the Night. Please like the video, comment on, and subscribe to my channel. And thanks for watching.